back to a brand new episode of the Who What Now Gaming Podcast. Podcast for consumers by consumers, where we're going to talk a whole bunch of nerdy shit. Today, we are returning from episode 35. BLKScorpio, what's cracking, brother?
What's going on, man? And damn, has it really been since 35? Like, what episode
Since
are you
35.
at now? Like, you must be in almost 50.
We're getting there. This episode technically will be 42.
Damn.
But yeah. It definitely has been a lot longer because we switched to every other week. So it was like, we're busting them out every single week, and now like you have to think like one episode lasts that, the 2 episode, time period kind of thing. So yeah, it's been a hot minute, which is
you know what? It's well worth it. Well worth it.
Yeah.
I think it's well worth it doing it every other week because it gives everybody like that time to soak in, sink in, and let it just absorb what they just watched or heard.
Yeah, definitely something that I've been noticing is that I guess I'm like an anomaly when it comes to like podcasts and listening to like content. I enjoy just like packing my downloads full of like stuff to listen to, and then while I'm like working or like doing a project, I just consume as much as I can. And then I started realizing that like not everybody's like that. Like some people just listen to a podcast when like mowing their yard or something. It's like, yeah, so moving to the every other week has been nice, but at the same time, like I wish it wasn't. It was more because of like time constraints, like I'm super swamped at work and family, and it was getting nice out, and it's just one of those things where I'm like I don't have the time that I had previously to be able to just be like throwing episodes out, and so it's nice that we've switched to every other episode or every other week. I mean. For an episode, at least for the time being, probably for a couple months. We'll see what happens.
Well, not only that, it also hides my shame that I will discuss as we get into it. But it's a shame. But the shame led into something new. So get ready to hear that when we're discussing.
Dude, I'm pumped. We've had a couple of discussions like off air about just your as we knew from episode 35 and from me, getting to further know you better, like you, even just talking before this recording, like you put gamers to shame. I'll tell you what, like that you are the most organized gamer I think I have ever actually spoken to. And we're in the 40s of episodes. Like this is, you have the most organized, like well thought out plans when it comes to tackling trophies, completing games, where like locations, your notes. I feel like I need to start doing what you're doing, and even that feels intimidating. It is something. I'll tell you what.
Well, I do really do appreciate it and everything. Like to me, I feel like I'm a hot mess when it comes to it because there are obviously other individuals out there that do have like over thousands of platinums and everything. Like I'm not as high as them, but I mean, just amongst friends, just amongst like everybody like that we know, it's like, yeah, like again, it's not hard. You just take a scrap piece of paper. In my mindset, I just look at it as like, if I don't know what this is, I'll write it down. Then if it leads to something, I'll branch it off. Like you just gotta take it step by step. I know where we picked up was in Silent Hill 2. That's a big one. Like I've never played Silent Hill till that game. That's the funny thing. I've never played any original Silent Hills till that game, and that's what got me going even before it. And once I like. I did say I was on the platinum run for that game that was coming up. I did hit a snag so that's where the shame comes in. I ended up hitting a snag because when we finished it, episode 35, it was around November, and I said I should have this done before Christmas. Then Elden Ring took over. So so I had to do my Elden Meringue Pie Christmas special with me taking on Elden Ring for the first time. Then I had to go for the Elden Lord title by that time, where I hit another snag with that one. I mean, I've never. Also, sorry if you see me doing this. I've gotta have my little stress ball here. Still adrenaline pumping from everything. But yeah, like I've gotten challenged from my chat. Like I've never played a Souls like game. All of a sudden, the year's 2024, and here I am. Bloodborne in the first 4 months, followed by Liza P within the next 4 months, and then the last 4 months was Elden Ring. It's like back to back to back, nonstop. of just
Wait. Hold on a
pure
minute.
carnage.
Hold on. You started Souls-like games in 2024?
Yeah,
No shit. I don't know why. I assumed that you've just been like racking that shit out for years. Wait, hold on. Have you not played like Dark Souls?
never. Never.
What?
Yep, never.
Oh, brother. My dude. All right. That is listen. You are a champion at these games. I have to honestly, truly say, like Elden Ring so far, just because of like technology and what they were like, they've learned a lot from previous games, and I know like a lot of like the Souls like quote unquote games, are, definitely pull a lot of elements from the previous games, or like what certain ones have done better than others, but I have to say like at some point, whether you play it for just shits and giggles, just to see what happens, or if it's not, one of those ones you end up taking on, I would truly highly suggest taking on the Souls games. They're damn good.
Well, I have
They
been
really
told,
are.
but I have been told, but I have. It's gonna sound weird, but I have no desire to play them. They didn't.
Really,
It's weird. It never captured my attention. But everybody's like, you should try this. The day like the souls dropped, I'm like, I have no desires. I know what it's gonna entail. I've seen the frustration that people went through. I've seen the agony.
it is.
I've seen the
It's
torment.
nuts.
And I'm
Yeah.
like, I will not touch those games. Here go 2024. On another podcast that I was on, both of us, we've never touched any Souls like. He went off to for his first game was Elden Ring to start off of all games.
Hmm.
I said I've always wanted to try Bloodborne. Now here's the funny thing: I had a PS4 when it launched, and I'm like, Bloodborne. Why? Like I tried it, I uninstalled it. I tried it, I hid the game from my list.
Really.
I'm like, I can't get into this game. I'm like, I don't understand this game. I don't know. Nothing's appealing me to this game.
Right.
Well, it just entered its 10th anniversary not too long ago,
Holy
and I'm
shit!
in
It's
love
been
with it.
10 years.
I'm in love with it. I'm in love with it. I'm like,
Really.
I'm kicking myself in my ass to say, why didn't you love it? It's Victorian horror gothic. It's
Yep.
amazing. It's it's just everything that I liked about it. So that was my very first one. I said, you know what? I'm gonna do it for my stream, do it for my chat, and I fell in love with it. I'm like, okay, what's next? I beat it, so I got the hunters. I want to say I got the Bloodborne Hunters title under my belt at that point.
Nice.
All of a sudden, Souls like Pinocchio comes out. Welcome Liza P.
Souls like
Okay,
Pinocchio. Yeah, dude.
that's mostly what it is.
Right.
Played it,
Yeah.
fell in love with it right off the rip. Fell in love with it. People are like, "Well, how could you love it? You just started it." I'm like, you know what? It doesn't take much for me. The moment I start getting into it, I even say it all the time. I love this game, and I will love it till the very end. No matter how many times you hear me say, "Stupid game" out of frustration, or "I hate this game" out of frustration, or basically what every rage gamer goes through out of frustration. What they say. In the end, I will still praise it as a 10 out of 10 to me.
Wow.
Up there with Bloodborne, a 10 out of 10. Then hearing about the DLC coming out as well as Overture, which is the DLC for Liza P. So I'm getting ready for that. Then
Nice.
here we go, 4 months later, Elden Ring. Well, goddamn. Okay, here we go. I know what I signed up for. Let me tell you, sitting on one boss for over 20 hours, like that's what happened at Christmas. Like I said,
Yeah.
I wanted to get the title of Elden Lord done by
Mm-hmm.
the new year. I remember I even did a 14 and a half hour stream, woke went to bed about 2 hours later, woke up, jumped on the stream again for an additional 5 hours, and still couldn't complete it.
God
Still
damn.
on one boss fight, and everybody obviously behind. By the time I got to that boss, I was level 90. Now I don't know, like I don't know what level you were supposed to be there
Yeah.
fighting the main boss. Like I looked it up afterwards. Minimum was at least 150. give or take.
Yeah. Yeah.
Here I am, just like Liza P and Bloodborne, completing it just under level 100 at like level 90 plus, like 99, I think, on both of them. Here I am at level 90, taking on the last boss. Yeah, that didn't work. Come January, I finally
Wow.
got the title of Elden Lord for the beginning of 2025. So not only do I have the Bloodborne Hunter title under my belt, I got the Lies of P Puppet Master under my belt. Now I got Elden Lord under my belt. Or Elden Lord, sorry. Yeah, under my belt. So I could say I have defeated 3 Souls likes. And on top of that, I'm also willing to say that this year, I'm going for the platinums on all 3.
See, that's the part that feels like just insanity. That feels like a crazy person thing. That's
It's gonna
I
it's gonna
gotta
be done.
say, so there's a couple things that I want to bring up from everything you just said there. It's all right. So for starters, you didn't play the Souls, like the actual Dark Souls games, but you went right into
Bloodborne.
Bloodborne. I've heard, see, I've played all the other ones. I have not played Bloodborne or Lies of P yet. And you, every time it comes up, you make it sound like so enticing. And like after
Yes.
Elden Ring, I was pretty much like, all right, the Souls games, like I get sucked into them, and then it's just frustration, and it is something else. But I got my Elden Lord title. I did what I had to do. I did not play the DLC, but it was only because like I got Elden Ring the week it came out, and then I beat it like some months later. But it was like now that it's been like a couple of years, and then they're like, bam, DLC. I'm like, dude, I don't remember shit. So
Well,
like
right now I
I
got
can't.
Shadow of the Erd Tree just waiting because when I go for Elden Ring again, which will probably be coming up soon, I might do that in honor of Elden Ring Night Rain that's coming out. So that when that drops,
Yeah,
I'm gonna be teaming up on that one to beat that one.
dude, it's
Even
gonna
if it's just
be.
a multiplayer, I might just jump in there. If there's trophies, just give it to me. Or else if it's DLC, I don't care. But I will be
Yeah, I
also
don't
going
know
for
how
that
they're
one
gonna do it.
next. Yeah, I'm going
I'm
for that
like
one next.
curious. I'm curious as that
Also,
like what they're gonna do with it, because it does seem like it almost felt like it was advertised as like a DLC like game, but it looks like it's supposed to release as like its own. Like it's not quite a sequel, but it's the same like realm of things. So like
yeah,
I am very curious. Do you know when that comes out?
May 30th.
May 30th. Oh, all right. So we're just around the corner.
Yeah, I
That
did
one's
my
gonna be something.
research. I did my
Hell
research.
yeah.
I have my my list of games of ready to release that I have already getting checked off as we go. Um,
Nice.
yeah. Also, to kind of also go back to backtrack, hence also what happened in by Christmas with the Silent Hill. That's what
Yeah.
also took over. That also took over my Silent Hill run at the exact same time. The
Yeah.
I was supposed to have the platinum of Silent Hill 2 remake done by Christmas, like I promised you. I
Yep.
said was one trophy glitched. I got glitched
Did it?
on the
Oh,
trophy.
wait. The one that was the good glitch? Yeah, the
No,
good glitch. Oh, not the good glitch.
not
Because
the good glitch.
the good one was that you completed the game in 20 hours and got a trophy for beating the game under 10 hours.
No, yeah, no. I would take that because somehow I feel, yeah, like by the time I got to that part, it gave me the trophy because I think by that part you weren't supposed to get there but until 20 hours later or 10 hours
Yeah.
later. And I got there
No, that's
probably within the time limit.
oh yeah. No, it's definitely one of those trophies where I'm like it's not even like you're just like someone I'm just talking to for the first time. Like I've seen the evidence. It's not like you wouldn't have gotten it. Like it's if you didn't get it on that run, fucking next run, it was happening. Like I think that's what people like sometimes like it's fun to like listen to like the or read the rants and stuff like online and stuff where people are like, "Oh, well, you cheated with this or you lucked out with this." And I'm like to some extent, I understand when some people do those things, but then you also have to understand like there are people who play these games so well and they're so organized that like the fact that the game may have, quote unquote, gave them that trophy, it's it was only like you were only maybe like 12 hours away from doing it again. Because
Well,
if I
exactly,
remember,
and there are
you beat
speedrunners.
that game. Well, you beat that game and then immediately went into your next run. It wasn't like you beat it and we're like, that was great, I'm gonna go play something else. Like, you beat it and then we were like, boom, I'm fucking platinuming this.
Yeah, and that's the funny thing, because that run that I did the new game plus right after, I did
Yeah.
it in under 10 hours. That's the
And
funny
see that,
thing.
and that's what I'm saying. That's what
I
I'm
did it
saying.
in
So
under
it's
10
not
hours
even
just
like
to
it's
see.
yeah, it's not even like it's a not well deserved. Like it's
Yeah,
or earned. I mean, like you're like, if you didn't get it on that one, you were getting it on the next run. Like, that's not even that wasn't a question.
yeah, like no doubt about it. Like I remember when I said I'm getting it, and then my best friend was the chainsaw. Once I got the chainsaw, that was it. It's like I like it didn't matter
Bro.
about difficulty. Like the difficulty doesn't matter to me unless it's you have to go buy the trophies to get it. So
Yeah.
I like it said recommended just put it on easy difficulty, but it was on New Game Plus
Yeah.
regardless, so that it was harder. But all I did was a chainsaw run. That was it, and I still got to where I got less than 10 hours. I skipped everything. I
I
skipped a lot of stuff
I will
because I did all my
yeah,
first playthrough.
I
That's
will
what you got to
say
do.
that chainsaw, when you told me about it, like, you were like, go, you were like, I remember the actual stream. I was like, that was a great game. And then I was like thinking about switching to another game. And you're like, just listen, trust me, hit new game, go to the, make it to the town, and then pick up the chainsaw. And that was all you said. And I was like, you know what? Fine. This is what he wants. Like, I'll do it. As soon as I got there, oh my God, fucking
Yep.
game changer. I'm
Yep.
like, I'm running around. It's, and like, it makes sense as to why it doesn't give it to you in the first run. Like, it
Exactly. Like, come on,
a thousand
you're
percent.
chainsawing the boss in 3 hits and they're done,
Yeah.
or
No,
one hit and they're
it's
done.
it is such an actual nice treat to like
Yeah.
to just start that new game. Because, like, most times you start a new game, it's like, all right, good luck, everything that you know already, except now you have nothing with you. And like, Silent Hill's like, hey, just a heads up, you have nothing with you, but we're gonna give you this chainsaw, go buck wild. And you don't even have to use it, you can still use the other melee weapons
Yeah.
if like you wanted that challenge. And it's like, dude, game changer. It was
Well,
awesome.
especially yeah, and especially with the chainsaw, like I also how I also did it too is I multi trophied stacked that one run. Like
Yeah.
with the chainsaw, I took off the radio. I went for one of the endings. I took care of like a couple of other trophies along the way, and it's just like you don't need that radio. That radio to play with it off is a lot more satisfying than when it's on, because that
You know,
radio is misleading.
I was actually just gonna say that radio playing. If I would have played the first, like, my very first run with no radio, I guarantee, because I will admit it, I'm a jumpy person. Like, I don't get scared easily, but I'm always, I think that's why horror games are really hard for me to play. It's not because like it's the horror aspect and I don't like being scared. It's because horror games don't scare me,
Right.
because my
Just like
brain
me.
is just always anticipating the
Right.
next scare. Like, it's when a jump scare happens, like, it was fun. It is fun on stream where I can, like, I do like allow myself to like let my guard down, because
Mm-hmm.
I'm paying attention to, chat. I'm goofing around with you guys, like, I'm having a good time. And then some things will genuinely like pop up and I go, oh shit, like that got me, like, it startled me, kind of thing. But it's only because I allowed myself to like let my guard down and I'm hanging out with you guys while playing the game. But if I turn all of that off and I'm just playing a game, it doesn't scare me. Like, there's that factor in my brain is constantly looking for the next, like, jump. And it's
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
it's
and I'm
nice,
and
but
I'm the
it doesn't get me anymore.
yeah, I'm the exact same way. But honestly, when turning off that radio, it was such, like you said, just like the chainsaw, it was such a treat. Um,
Yeah.
but the problem is that I've noticed that you would get the jump scares on the second run even without the radio, because unless see in my case I memorize, like it's kind of hard not to
Yeah.
know where the enemies are now because it pointed them out. But there are games that do have random RNG to it, so the enemies you're
Yeah.
expecting is going to be around that right corner but it comes out the left. But to me, doing like once I got a rhythm of those couple runs, like I'm not saying I sat here and I did 2 runs. I'll tell you straight out, I did at least like 15 runs,
Yeah.
like back to back, and they weren't stopping. Like once I beat the game, I went straight back into the new game plus. I went straight back into the new game plus. As soon as those credits hit, I just kept going and going and going. You're like, oh, well, don't you get bored or tired? I sat in my chair for 10 hours going through it, just
What
ripping
do
it
you
apart.
think? All right. So first question: How many times did it take? Sorry, hang on. Let me rephrase this. How many playthroughs did it take to platinum this game? That's what I want to ask.
For me, it would have taken, or it has taken, with the glitch include, like with that stupid glitch that was included, which was on the
Yeah,
collectibles. That
I
was
was
on
gonna
the
say.
collectibles.
Oh, wait,
Yeah.
hold on. Did we talk about it yet?
No,
We'll
not
go
yet.
back to
No.
this one. Okay. All
Okay.
right. Say that one first, and then we'll go back to this because I do have a
Okay.
follow
So
up
the
to the
glitch
second one, and
happened,
I don't
and
want to
it
lose this
actually
one.
tells you that there is a collectible, that it is new game plus.
Yeah.
Now it only comes out in new game plus, and it's glitched because when I did the new game plus, I found it and it didn't calculate it. And then when I did the regular run, it didn't calculate it. So it glitched out both ways. So I'm like,
Oh,
what is going on? But you have to
right.
find specific collectibles. Now this collectible is a missable collectible unless you do a new game run, you will not get it. And then when I
Interesting.
did one of my runs, it eventually popped, and that's when I got. That was, I believe, my last trophy.
Do you remember what the actual collectible was that was
Yeah,
glitched?
yeah,
I don't know why I asked you. Of course you do. For those listening and for maybe anyone watching on YouTube, before we hit record, Scorpio showed me the plethora of books and journals that this man has put my like title to gaming to an absolute shame. Look at that bad boy. It,
yeah.
it is like
It's a little
it is
journal here
filled.
with like just the notes from every single location to every single solution that I have done,
And here's the
highlighted with
thing,
everything.
everyone. Yeah, ladies and gentlemen, listen to me when I say this. This is not someone who has gone to a wiki and just copy and pasted. This is someone who truly, and this is why I enjoy having Scorpio in like our streams or in coming on the podcast. Scorpio, like these are the notes, and I actually wrote this note down before we hit record. I genuinely think that like big companies do this all the time. So it's not like a new concept, but I think that you specifically could probably like do this in a very more down to earth way than like a lot of these like big corporations do. I think if you took like say you decided you're going to platinum like all the like I know we just talked about this, but like all of the like Souls like games, like every single one of them, and then like putting it in like a giant like what's the word? Is it called a compendium or whatever? Like one
Yeah,
of those big books of just like you're like, hey, do you like Souls games? And then you would buy this like manual size book, and then like your tabs would be like, okay, first chapter is everything Dark Souls 1. Next chapter, and not chapter, but like like section of the book and everything. And it's like it's not the wiki form. It's like this is what I did. This is the experience. This is the because at that point, and I truly mean this. I think at that point it would be more of a connection because it's a gamer to a gamer and not just a developer saying, hey, this is what we designed it to do and this is how you beat it. You're saying, hey, these are the things that work. This is what feels like it's going to work, but this is what actually works. And this is the experience I had, kind of thing. And
right.
I think
And I
that
did,
truly would be a much more enjoyable read than the wiki setups. You know what I
which
mean?
which I do appreciate. But I'm not gonna say I haven't gone online. Like, well, Wikipedia is a false slide. Like we were taught here, in Canada, obviously, during our educations, don't rely on Wikipedia. Wikipedia could always be adjusted to anything. Like other countries
Yeah.
use Wikipedia, but they don't understand that I
Yeah.
could go in there and say 2 plus 2 is
Mm-hmm.
5, 6 plus 6 is like 3. It,
Yeah, we
it's
do the
not a
same
truth site,
thing,
but
except the difference is that most everyone here struggles with the whole, listening thing.
Right.
Or,
So
it's told to you, and you're like, bam, got it. It's told to us, and people just go, well, I'll just find a different way to do it.
well,
You're like,
exactly,
no, that's not how
but it
that works.
also, yeah, and it also goes like I have a buddy of mine who's doing Ragnarok, and he's like, oh, he read online, and I'm like, first of all, you're going through it for your first time, don't read it because there's a whole bunch of trolls that spoil it for you and this and that. I'm like, stop reading where you're at and just play it through. Like I'll go online and like I said, I'm just a small streamer. I'm just me. I do go online. I do grab maps. I try to look for maps that other gamers have created. It's not like there is no map for Bloodborne. There is no map
Hmm.
for Elden Ring. I literally went online and found a map that another gamer has created, and he created it perfectly to the
Yeah.
world. I look at the Platinum Hunters that are out there as well. Like there's a community of them who have, like I said, thousands of trophies, platinums, and whatever. I'm just like me. I'm just sitting at 64, but again, I'm just accomplishing my games that I played over the years, and that's what I like. And I help out people, friends and communities who want to who sit there and say they don't have a platinum or they want a platinum hunt, and like, what do you do? And I just like in my stream that I'm going to be talking about after when we get to it.
Hmm.
I sent him a link. I'm like, use this link. It helps you. This is what I'm currently using, along with my own notes that I pass off to other people. Like you said, it does work. It doesn't work, and this is what I find during my playthrough. And I look it up online and see other people that use the exact same thing, whether if they hit it or not. And I've had people come into my streams, and they were like, I have never seen that happen before in all my playthroughs I have ever done. I have never once experienced that. The first thing I say to everybody is, "Welcome to my stream. You will see shit that you will have never seen before." I always somehow tend to break the game. I tend to somehow get the shit end of the stick. You could be
Yeah.
sitting there like in Elden Ring. You could sit there and say, "I it took me 5 hours to beat Melania." Well, guess what? That 5 hours and maybe 300 deaths you took would be tripled in my book. It'll be 500 hours plus over 3,000 deaths just on that
Hmm.
one boss. And you're like, but how? And I could show you my stats are from here to the moon, but I always feel like the game scales for some reason to me. And that happened in the stream that we're going to currently talk about after.
Yeah.
I'll go and explain that one because that has happened. I felt like every time I did one little switch to my equipment, the boss scaled times two to it to counter it, which is hilarious.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, like I said, I do appreciate everything. Like this Silent Hill 2 was amazing, and like I love my horror games. I don't get jump scared that easily. Like if I acted like I've never played Dead Space. I've never played the Alan Wake series. Those are on my list coming up this year for October.
Nice.
Um, so it's gonna be so this isn't just a Silent Hill journal. This is my horror remake journal. So this is gonna be Silent Hill with Alan Wake, with Dead Space. It's basically all puzzles and puzzle solutions that I find. That's if you keep a mental note, then you'll know for afterwards where you're gonna go and what you're gonna do.
Yeah. See, I need something like that just for like I mean that's most of the time I game with like a notebook, but it's not because I'm like making notes specifically for like the game. Like currently like for a big example, like huge example, and I definitely know that you understand this cuz you've been in the streams. My ADHD is so bad that I legitimately had to start taking notes because I forget so fast what I was doing. Like, you know that feeling when you walk into a room and you're like, fuck, why did I come in here? I do that constantly in games. I'll be like, it's like Stardew. All right, it's this day. It wakes up, I wake up, I go down here, I grab the horse, I go down to this side of the map, and then I go, why am I here? What was I doing? What was the point of me coming over here? And then I go, fuck, I don't remember. And then I go do something else, and then I go, oh shit, that's why I was over there. Or it's like I'll walk over and I'll walk up to like my house or something, and I go, I have no idea why I'm here. And then I'll pay the money, I'll go to the desert, I'll go all the way to the mines just to find out that I went back to my house to empty my fucking inventory. Like it's just the worst. So like I have to sit down and make notes for myself. I don't know how to combat it. It's
Well,
terrible.
well, again, now this is where like I'm not gonna obviously praise myself for this or do anything, but like I said, I'm the type of person or gamer, whatever, that
Mm-hmm.
if you're part of my community, if you're like one of my friends, I'll jump in there and I'll watch you. Even if you're just a total stranger, but you're playing a game that I fully enjoy, I'll sit there and I'll read the chat. I'll see what the chat's trolling. I'll see like what like if they're giving proper information or not, and I just observe. Now, when you said you were playing Silent Hill Remake, and like me being where I'm at in my streams, I'm going through it. I was at one point 5 hours ahead of you because I go 5 hours per stream, and like
Yeah.
you were just
Yeah.
catching up. So I
You had
would
just
leave like
started the game at the
yeah,
end of my stream, and then when I streamed literally the next day, you were like, "Yeah, I just hit that, yesterday." And I was like, "What the fuck? What do you mean you just hit this yesterday?" And you're like, "Well,
yeah,
I'm like," and because I started to rely on you specifically. You were such a huge help. We even might have brought this up in the last, our last episode, which was that like there was getting to the points where I was like, "Hey, like I actually do have to work tomorrow or whatever." It'd be like I have to go to sleep. So I'm like, if I stop here, am I
yeah.
safe? Or am I gonna like how much farther? And you're like, all right, you got like, knowing how I play, you're like, all right, you got maybe like an hour left. I'm like, okay, I could knock out another hour,
And it was
and I
exactly the hour that you took
yeah,
to
dude,
get
it was
through. So
so
yeah,
good. It was like it saved my ass so many times. Yeah, a thousand
and that's
percent.
where I understand. Like when you write the notes for the ADHD, like I'm the type of person like I don't have ADHD or whatever. Which I'm not saying, oh, I'm thank God or whatever. No, it's just
How
I could
dare
like
you?
yeah, I could walk into a room and there could be like six conversations going off, and I could know exactly where each person stops. So like for you, when you were doing the Silent Hill, and you had to write down, I'm like thinking to myself, I'm like, I know exactly where you are. If you trail off course, I'll get you
Yeah,
back on course. Like if you
yeah.
walk 10 miles up the road before you hit the historical building on your right hand
Mm-hmm.
side, I'll say no, backtrack to the gas station that was down the road. You forgot the lever, go back and get stuff that you missed, because that shit's gonna be important to
Yeah,
you. And
yeah,
that and yeah,
that got really bad too because I that was before I fixed my the stream delay, and so like I'd be like, all right, is this where I go? And then I'm like waiting, and I go, all right, I guess it's good. And then I'd start walking down, and then all of a sudden, chat's like, no, turn around, and I'm like, fuck, it's like I just spent the last couple of minutes going down the road, so now I got to turn around, and everybody's like, go turn around, turn around. I'm like, I did, but like it hasn't caught up to you yet. Like it's
right.
like,
Yeah, and that's the thing as well. But like, like I also have good patience that I can sit there, like you said, with that delay. I'm sitting there. I know being on the other end of it. I know like you've probably walked up to like I'm using the historical monument as an example
yeah,
because the historical building is actually where that last glitchy trophy is what screwed me over. But the like you were saying,
yeah,
um, so I'm gonna be getting to that collectible in a second. But yeah, you'd be walking all the way up to the historical building, and I would have already written in the chat, no, take 10 paces backwards and turn left or right. Like, so
mm-hmm,
I know like once I read that, but then I'm reading chat at the same time, and everybody's like whatever. But it's like you have to see which person is giving the right information. I could say
yeah.
take 10 steps forward, 2 steps left, you'll hit your mark. People would be saying something otherwise, but if you do take those 10 steps forward, 2 steps left, you're gonna see, okay,
Yeah,
so
you're
this
gonna get
person
right
knows
there.
exactly what they're talking about.
Yeah,
Yeah.
dude, it genuinely is really fun having you in like in our streams. It's because like you are very knowledgeable in these things, and like yeah, you like know where everything is, but you also have this like putting all of that aside, you're very witty and you're very quick. And like when we had AI Alicia in there, just
Oh, don't even
the
get me started
you
with that
guys
bot.
you guys going back and forth. Oh, dude, it's so funny to like, and sometimes like I'll get really into whatever I'm playing, and then I look at chat and I'm like, what happened? It's just
Yeah,
you
it's
fighting
it's
an
just a
AI
complete
bot for a
disaster.
little while.
Yeah, it's just a complete disaster.
It's so good.
I
Well,
just do it
you
for the
said
laughs.
yeah, it's great. It's fantastic. There's been a couple of times like there's people will like try to get me on stuff, and then there's things that you'll put in there that genuinely gets that good laugh out of me, and I'm just like, damn. Like sometimes I just kind of want to like I want to write these down because like sometimes I just like I'll think about them later or something, or I'll like talk about it with like a friend, and I'll be like, man, I was cracking up. And they're like, well, what was funny? And I go, I couldn't fucking tell you, but damn, it was funny at the time. Like,
Well, write them down. I like again. I'm not one to sit here and be like, oh, you can't use my words like Leg Tyson.
Leg Tyson
Popular
was
through
fun.
Leg
Yeah,
Tyson. I'm sorry, was the key through the whole Silent Hill series, and like
yeah.
It's just amazing. You know what? To be honest, I do miss Leg Tyson. She was some good shit.
It's so
Now, see, the
good.
funny thing is, you're like Leg Tyson, and like you mean like Mike Tyson, like the guy? I'm like, no, Leg Tyson, like the chick. And you're
Yeah.
like, well, who the hell's Leg Tyson? It's those legged mannequins,
Mm-hmm.
like getting around the corner, and you're getting boxed by a pair of legs. It's like, excuse me, you don't
Dude,
even have a head. How do you know where I am?
they were the worst. That and the nurses. Oh,
Oh
they were
my,
my
no!
worst
Don't
nightmare.
even get me started. Like I said, I went on a little rant. I remember from episode 35 about hating. I hated Toluca Prison. I still hate it.
Yeah.
And you know what? In this damn book that I even wrote down, the stuff I left out, like the way puzzle, I left out because you have to physically do it. And I'm not gonna sit there and say, okay, well this goes
Yeah.
here, this goes there. It's literally a mash. Like
Yeah.
I'm like I can't do it. I'm like
So
that
with
glitchable trophy.
all yeah, I was gonna say with that one because I have two more. I have that one, and then I have one big one that I wanna talk about for the for Silent Hill 2. So the second glitch trophy, I'm so curious now because while we were talking, I pulled up the trophies and they're intimidating. Some of them,
Yeah, and
some of them like
you'll see which one. If you go down, I think it was collectible number either 53 or 54. It will say that it is found on the body up the road from the historical museum. That reads that you have to go to the safe and input the combination to the safe that is behind the Bolorama counter. That is the one that when you open it will have something inside. I think it's the box to one of the endings. The key. It has the key.
oh
The key to one of the
okay
endings. If you're reading it, it should say word for word exactly what I just said. And I'm not even looking
uh
at anything.
yeah.
That's the funny
Well,
thing.
the one I'm looking at is not like labeled by like numbers, but I did come across that. Like I recognize it. I'm just trying to figure out where on the like what the thing was called. But
It
there
was
is
if it should be the Bolorama. It should be found on the dead body. That is further up the road from the historical museum.
mm,
That and it should say missable because it should only say found in New Game Plus.
Jesus.
Yeah.
How do you even I don't even dude, it's some of these like well actually fuck I lie. There's two things I wanted to talk about. The one is that we were just talking about this the other day. You said that there was some new information that you got that it was going to blow my mind, and
Yeah.
I was ready to hear it, and then I thought, no, I want to hear it face to face. Like I want to dive into this. And my second part to that is there are multiple endings.
Yep.
So I
There's
wanted to
eight, I believe, in
know,
total.
yeah. So I wanted to know, like what were the endings and what out of everything that happened, putting like story aside, out of all of the endings that you've witnessed, which one was your favorite? So let's start with let's just start with the general one, the easy one, to get that one out of the way. What was your favorite ending?
Honestly, the favorite endings that I remember out of all of them was actually the ritual ending. The only way to get the
Interesting.
ritual ending is you'd have to find four pieces of the items. One you get right off the start, which would be the chalice. No, sorry, the crimson book that you find at the gravestone. Then you come across the chalice um,
Excuse me.
in the final part of the hotel. You come across the white liquid by chapter before going to Brookhaven Hospital, as well
Okay.
as the last book in the hotel, I believe, as well. Um, so the ritual ending is like he goes to an island and he performs the ritual, which is actually pretty cool. So that was my favorite ending. Also,
What's the ritual? I don't know anything about the endings. I just know the
well,
ending that
he
I
just he
saw
just
and then
goes
the
to the
alternate.
island, but you gather all these items. Like he's gonna perform like some witchcraft. Like you don't fully see it. It's just he goes to an island, but he's carrying all the stuff you found, and then it's like it goes into he's gonna do a ritual. Like is he gonna bring her back alive? Is he gonna what's he gonna do? And it just trails
So
off.
does this still happen after you fight what's her name, Maria or something? Yeah, Maria.
Yeah. Well, technically it's Maria slash Mary, the boss, the final
Oh,
boss.
right. Yeah.
Yeah.
So but it
Yeah.
still
It still
happens
happens.
after your final bite or your final
If I
fight. There we
remember
go.
correctly, it does not. because
Ah.
some endings actually happen prior. So like the alien ending, if you're gonna get the alien one, it happens the moment you get to the hotel, and it bypasses the ending fight.
Oh,
There's the dog.
interesting.
There's the dog ending, which is
That's
part
the one
of
I
the
was curious
original
about.
six.
What is that one about?
Okay, it is kind of stupid. It is part of the original six for the trophy.
Okay. Sweet.
The only two that were actually added was the ritual ending and the alien ending. Those are the only two that were
Oh.
non-original. The dog one. Now, if you, I know you have played it, but if you have not played it, once you get to the hotel on the third floor, once you're given the third floor key, right next to the room that you go watch the Maria or to go watch the videotape, there's a
Right.
room. It's locked. Now that room cannot be accessed. The only way to access that
Mm,
room is if you have the dog key. Now that could only be obtained in New
really?
Game Plus. Now in New Game Plus,
Huh.
they added an area that you bypass. It's just a regular fence.
Yeah.
If you go down the main street, you'll find you'll find the kennel, where inside, when you go inside, you find like a little um paw looking busted up key. And then
Right.
when you go around the street, you'll see there's a fence that has a bone on it. Go through that fence and you'll come across a little doghouse, and you'll find the other broken piece of that key. You put it together, you have the key to that
Okay.
room. By the time you get to that ending, like to that area, he'll unlock the room, and then he'll start speaking in Japanese, which is funny because you'll see a dog and a giant picture. You're walking into a security office, so all these televisions, and you just see a random dog with a headset, and all of a
What?
sudden your character just starts speaking Japanese, and the dog is speaking Japanese, and he's just saying about how much like it's like a joke. It's like an overall joke,
Yeah.
saying the dog
Oh
was
yeah.
behind
Oh
the whole
yeah.
time. Like, I find that one kind of
Damn.
stupid, but it was just
Yeah.
a play on it. It was like you could even
Yeah. It
search
was
up these
like it was clearly made as like a joke ending. Like it's not.
yeah, you could search up these endings afterwards if you want. The alien one, uh, there's also a suicide one that you take that puts you into a suicide translucent state by taking, I believe it was called, um, it wasn't chloroform. It was white something. If you have it in front of you, you probably read it. It's like some white liquid, which is the one that was found in the Bolorama. That you get the
Oh.
key
Okay.
to. Yeah, it's a type of white liquid or something. And before you watch the videotape of you and Mary, you drink this, and you basically off yourself. You're in such a lucid state that nothing is real, and it just ends right then
Damn.
and there.
So you just go. So you just continue. You just go deeper into your own mind.
Right. And but the thing is that you kind of kill yourself.
Yeah. It sounds like it. Yeah.
It sounds like you just basically taking a poison.
Damn. Yeah, because I'm looking at some of these, and some of them like seem pretty simple, but nothing you would like really think about. And
Yeah.
it's like shattered, destroy 50 windows.
Yeah,
Which
like
like
that's when
I
like you get the baseball bat and just start going at it.
yeah, you just go ham. You know, it's not something you think about while playing the game because there's not a whole lot of reasons. I mean, there's a lot of times you'll break through stuff just because, but like
Yeah.
I would say probably the average player only destroys maybe 25, 30 at most. Like if
Give
you
or
don't know
take.
the
But
achieve, yeah,
here
if
I am checking out my thing at the end, and I destroyed over like 600 windows.
yeah, well, that's what I'm saying. But like, if it's not something that you're like intentionally going for or like looking for, like you're just playing the story, like
Yeah.
there's not a whole lot that you would like be required to do. You know?
Actually, funny enough, one of the collectibles does tie into those windows, and that's looking for photographs.
Yeah. Yep. Well, and the photographs are the ones that they're like the ode to the original game.
The 26 photographs, yes.
Yeah, which is really cool. I am curious now. This because this whole time I've been secretly trying to figure this thing out, and I have not found anything. So what is this information? Because my mind has been boggling this for like this past week.
Okay. So, those photographs, like you said, those 26 photographs, people are like, well, what are those photographs? Like,
Right,
it is definitely an ode to the original game.
right.
Now, The funny thing about that is when you were there, when you fought Eddie and you
Yes.
meet Eddie, have you ever looked at those bodies,
The
those
ones that
corpses?
are like in the room.
Right. Have you ever looked
The
at any of those corpses, even when meeting Eddie, like prior, or have you ever stumbled across any of those corpses? Have you ever looked at them
yeah,
closely?
I guess not close enough. Like you're talking about the one where like when you see him for his fight, he's holding the smoking gun and there's the one guy's like shot on the ground or whatever.
Right.
I just assumed I guess that they were just bodies that were they it's like they just needed something there to kind of prove that he like murdered them, like that
Uh,
he was insane.
right. Right. Now, do you remember Toluca Prison where you see him in the mess hall? You see the body that was slumped over the table,
Yeah,
and you
yeah, yeah,
look
yeah.
very closely, like the hair was white. He was wearing a
Yes.
jacket. Okay, are you ready for this? This is what's going to blow your mind now.
Holy fuck, I'm ready.
That is you.
What?
That is you. I remember when I first stumbled across those bodies,
What?
if you look very closely at the body that's sitting at the
Yeah.
table, the hair is white. The jacket
Right.
he's wearing, that is James. That's blonde hair and a green jacket. That is James. The body that he had the smoking gun and he's in the cellar before the Eddie fight, that is James. Those bodies that are around the area is James. That goes to show you that somebody has figured out with those pictures along with those corpses has been saying that you have been in there since 2 decades since the game was first originally created. Those bodies
So
are you. Those are your
so
bodies. Those are all the attempts that you have failed to escape Silent Hill. That is your purgatory.
so we technically were right then when we were making our original like guesses.
Right. If you looked at those bodies that were there, that is James. That is James's every single attempt and failed. Toluca prison. Notice how there was always a corpse that got
Holy
further
shit.
and further and further.
I'm looking at it now. Fuck, dude, you're 100% right.
Yeah.
Dude. How did I miss that? Yeah,
I
you're right
looked at
cuz
those.
every random body that you see throughout the game is like either like brutally messed up or there's always one that's just it's always by itself and it's always just throughout the entire game. I
Yep.
never made that connection. That is
Even with those pictures, those are old attempts, and those are old places of where he went. Those were clues.
yeah.
Yeah.
That is insane. So wait, does that mean that okay, so does that mean that Eddie wasn't going crazy when he was like he's like get out of my head or like he says something about like I keep, seeing you or it is like I keep doing this and I'm not crazy or whatever.
Right. So each time that we're sitting here, it's like each new James has amnesia. The James that we are playing is the final James to get the furthest
Oh,
out of all of them.
that's crazy. Ah, dude, I love that. That's awesome.
Yeah. So that ending that we got where he drowned himself in the lake,
Right.
if we were to start up Silent Hill again, I guarantee you there will be a James in the bottom of the lake in a car.
Yeah. Yeah. Wow. Damn, that is good. I'm actually really glad that I was like, yeah, let's do this on the podcast. That is, man, I never noticed.
Yep. Like
It
what got me
makes
was the one
so much
in
sense.
the one that got me was the one in Toluca prison. I'm like, why does this body look familiar? I'm like, this looks like us. Like
Yeah,
especially the way the hair is. I'm like, it looks blonde, it looks white. I'm like, why is it us? It looks exactly like us. Then when you go look at the slumped over one that he said he shot, and you look carefully, the face is blackened and darked out,
yeah.
but you could see the facial features is James.
Wow. Damn. Well done. That is good. I did not pick that up. I would not have. That's really
Yeah,
cool.
it's an
That is really
ode.
cool.
And the best thing is that it means that we have literally been there for 2 decades, 20 years since the game was remade from the original. The devs put that in
Oh,
there.
wait a minute. Does that mean
He's been
Does
in
that mean
purgatory
that?
for 20 years.
Yeah, but does that mean that the that scene when you very first meet Eddie? Does that mean that the body you find in the fridge is you?
Yeah.
Dang.
Every body, every single corpse, if you look at it, would be yours.
Yeah, because all the other ones would have been like they're all like
Who else is
monstrous
there?
beings. Yeah.
Like but who else is there?
I mean, like
Other
the
than
the girl and the
but you don't see a little girl's corpse. You don't
right. Well,
see
because they
yeah,
we determined. I think it was in the last one because we determined that she doesn't see what we see.
right.
She's there, but she doesn't see the monsters. She doesn't see the
The only
like
monster she
her
sees is you,
right. And then the right, yeah, exactly. And then the other person just sees
Laura,
the one the one that was going like insane. Her whole thing is just everything's on fire all the
because
time.
she set fire to her house to kill her father by burning him alive. Yeah.
Dude, this was fuck. I can't believe I missed that. Damn, that's good, man. That's really good. Thank you. That was
Yeah, no problem.
man. That makes now all right. You win. I'm gonna have to go back and replay this game again, even though we
No,
like
you gotta go back
just
and
did it.
you gotta get
Couple.
that platinum. We're gonna get you that
I
platinum.
am.
Like,
I think I'm gonna
yeah.
definitely do it. It's gonna be good. I definitely have to. Um. Now, not to completely flip subjects. There is
Not flip
one
it.
more. Huh?
Flip it.
Flip it. There is one more game that I do want to talk about. I want to get your input on, because I think I mean we're definitely gonna have you back on the show because I definitely want to. There's other games that I want to get your input on and such. But Black Myth Wukong was definitely I it was so much better than I was anticipating, and it was genuinely one of those games that even though I had like some seriously frustrating like moments, that game was so fun and so like I mean it was a stunning game. It was very very cool.
Yeah.
What did you think of it? Because I you just beat that not too long ago, right?
Literally, like I just beat it. What last week? Maybe 3 4 days ago. I just beat it.
Right,
That was uh, that was my March, February slash March journey. Because originally I got that in February. Now I'm gonna have to a little bit backtrack because everything all ties in. With the trophy hunting, my goal for this year is to at least hit 5 to 10 platinums for games. Now
nice,
I'm already on the basically I'm already on the road to it, because January I got my first platinum, Silent Hill 2. That's when I just got it, January 4th. So that's already the start for the platinum run for this year. So that's why it's kind of a twofer in this
right.
case. February, when the Stanley Parable came out, you remember that one where, hey, did you
I
like the
like
Stanley
that one.
Parable?
That was the
Yep.
first time I'd ever played the Stanley Parable.
Yeah. February 6th was when I got that one. 2 days later, I just platinumed Cyberpunk 2077. I got the platinum on that. So I'm already sitting at 3 platinums in just 2 months. Then now we're going into Black Myth Wukong, which this I just finished, and I'm already chalking it up to a platinum run within this year, along with Liza P, Bloodborne, and Elden Ring. So this year is gonna be definitely going at it. Right now, like I said, I'm just needing one trophy for the whole Resident Evil Village, but I could swap it with like an Elden Ring. I could swap it with whatever, but
Yeah,
because I just came out of literally one full year of Souls like to an
right.
action RPG, like the mental stress behind everything, you're probably thinking like, how the hell are you still going from Bloodborne 4 months, Liza P 4 months, Elden Ring 4 months, followed by another December, January, February, March 4 months into Black Myth Wukong. Like
Oh,
it's literally
oh
been
yeah,
4 months
dude.
apart.
Yeah, you blast through games, and I'm always very impressed.
Yeah.
I genuinely don't know how you actually you spend less time on a game platinuming it than I do just trying to beat the game.
Well, that's because my first initial run, so like taking Black Myth Wukong, since we're talking about that, The average game takes now, I heard, was between 40 to 60 hours.
Yeah.
Now, when I just beat Black Myth Wukong, I'm sitting at already 25 out of the 36 trophies needed. Um, just trying to hit whatever I can, like along the way. Like that's my completionist mind, my trophy hunting mind. I'm kind of doing two things at once, enjoying the game on a blind through, but as well as trying to achieve trophies along the way that I can. So it makes everything for a sweep or a run to do after. Um, so I have, yeah, if it takes 40 to 60 hours, right now I'm currently sitting at 115 hours in Wukong that I just beat. Now, out of those 115 hours, I would have to say that last boss fight
Yeah.
took me literally two, I would say 2.5, maybe 3 streams of 5 hours apiece. So you're looking at maybe close to 15, about 17 hours to beat straight. The
Wow.
Erlang, his fight took
Yeah.
me a good 4 streams on their own as well, just to beat. So
And
the last two
you're
bosses, I would say combined total of maybe just alone 40 hours just to beat.
yeah, because you're the kind that you're the kind of gamer that like
Sits
when
there.
you find that you find that like that struggle boss or whatever, like
Mm-hmm.
you sit there, you analyze, you understand, you break down the moves and you go
And
try
it
after
switches.
try after try and
And
you
it
don't
switches.
stop until it's done.
No, and that's the problem. It switches. I've said it multiple times. I've said it in chat that I'm like, if we're not gonna get this boss after this amount of time, I'm just ready to call it quits and move on. The moment I turn my character around and start walking the other way, I stop and I'm like, I can't do it. It has to be done, and I rush right in there like a freaking idiot, like a bull, literally. Done. We're
Yep.
dead. We're going at it again. You know that gamer expression. Just one more time, or this is the final try. This is my last attempt.
Right.
It's not. Like perfect example would be Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. That in one continuous fight, you're literally facing Sephiroth, like no breaks in between.
Right.
He's a good 9 hour straight fight, and the game tells you you're at the point of no return. Do you want to save here? Because if you're going, you're committed. You're literally fighting him in the same chair for 9 hours. It's a
Right.
9 hour fight. And that's
Dude,
what I've done.
that's
I've sat in my chair for 14 and a half hours defeating the Elden Beast and Radagon. That took me literally 14 and a half hours plus an additional 5 hour stream just of January 31st going into the new year. That literally took me 19 hours to fight, and I still didn't beat it until just before I beat Silent Hill 2. Like I just got
dude,
the Elden Lord title.
that was that was probably one of the most satisfying wins, but also one of the hardest like victories. I spent so long on the that like two-parter final boss for that. It's and like I'm pretty sure I took like a fucking victory lap or something when I finally beat it. Like just the relief of being like,
Do you
it's
remember the
done,
level you were
it's
at?
over.
Do you remember the level you were at?
No, but I'm pretty sure I definitely was up there. Like I think if the game was to if you were supposed to beat the final boss at like 100 and something or whatever,
Let's say
I was
50.
like, is what?
Well, they said estimated level to reach the boss just before Radagon, like Godric or something like that, or
Yeah.
Godfrey or whatever. And the Huraloo fight, you had to be at least a minimum of 120 or something like that. I've reached
Yeah,
that fight
what
at like 85, 90,
yeah,
and
I was
then
gonna
I
say like
faced Radagon.
whatever like the recommended was, I was like 30 or 40 levels above cuz like I there's so many times where I'd just be like I'm done and then I'd go somewhere else and then I'd like fight some stuff or I'd like farm some souls or something. It was just dude, I
Okay,
can't
so
I get
I could
so
tell you,
frustrated.
I could tell you that I believe with certainty either I was 113 or 123 when I beat the Elden Beast. I was if it was
Ah,
recommended level 150, I guarantee you I was 30 levels below and I beat it. Like there's my struggle. There's my problem. Just like Wukong, I feel like by the time you're supposed to get to Erlang, by the time you're supposed to get to the final stage,
Yeah.
you had to be a minimum of like probably 100 or something like that. I was only level 85 when I hit Erlang, and I'm like, why do I feel so underleveled? Why do I feel like I said, I welcome everybody to the stream. The first thing they're gonna say is you're like, the first thing I say is if there's anything that you will that you have seen before, you will not see it on my stream. You will find shit that you've never seen before. Perfect example: the Duskville fight. I broke his transformation. I broke his second stage. I broke it 6 times in a
Oh,
row.
really?
Yeah.
Damn.
So that Dusk Veil, like it's not like I'm sitting there doing it on purpose. What happened was I hit him at a certain point, and he's supposed to go into a second stage where the whole arena is supposed to be like covered in like blood and water and whatever, and it's supposed to not help you move. For me, it was dry. It was snow. It was like exactly like stage one. Just he got harder. That's the problem. So I'm like,
Wow.
so I'm like, did I just break the game? And I had the chat going crazy because like some people were like, I have never seen that. I'm like, hold on, let me put it to a test. I did it again and again and again and again and again. I broke the game. Then there was the Scorpion Lord. There's another thing. I gone after it
Dude.
so I went after it so many times that the game didn't respawn him, and the game's just like, no, peace out,
Yeah.
restart, and
I
I
didn't
had to
know if
restart the game. I'm like, what?
I broke like something or if it was supposed to happen that way, but that was the one that I didn't get immediately because like I went to go fight that scorpion and I just kept getting my ass kicked. And then finally I did that thing where I was like, I got to move on. I'm going to go fight something else. And then I found my way up to like this, like that big, like bone dragon thing. And then
That
the
was the Duskville.
scorpion he crawls up through the ground and then helps me fight him. And I go, what the fuck? I thought we were just arguing down there. And so if you don't beat him down there, he joins the fight. If you beat him down there, he doesn't. He's obviously not there to fight in that little boss battle. And so, like my version of the game, he joins in and helps fight with me, and then
But you don't get
eventually,
his armor though.
correct, bingo,
Oh, okay. So there's the downfall. See, I'm
yes.
also collecting all the armor sets as well. I have his
Well, and
armor.
so and that's how I found out that I then had to go do the fucking new game plus to do and get it because and once you do it, once you beat that boss, that's it. He doesn't respawn. He doesn't go back. So like, even if you beat that boss with him still alive, he doesn't come back. That's it. And so like
Yeah.
there's from that point on, you can't get that armor set. And I
So
was
hold on.
so
So you're
pissed.
telling me that in New Game Plus, every boss that you beat in the previous run in New Game Plus, they will not respawn?
No. I mean, like
Oh,
in
yeah, yeah,
the
yeah.
original
Okay, yeah.
one that I was playing, yeah, because I triggered that final boss, there was no way for me to go back to like get him to respawn back there without like like restarting hours
No,
of like
but
work.
could you still have killed the Scorpion Lord?
No, that's the thing that I couldn't do. So I had to wait till New Game Plus to
Ah,
make my way back up there and then do it. So that
mm,
was the one thing I didn't get to do on my original playthrough because it was solely because I just got frustrated with fighting him so many times. I was like, I'll just go on and do something else for a little while and then I'll come back. And so then when I triggered that final fight, that's when I was like, fuck, I can't go back. I just soft locked myself out of an entire like armor set solely because I didn't want to keep fighting him.
yeah. That
It was
that
rough.
fight, that Scorpion Lord fight, took me I think 2.5 streams.
Dude, it was rough. I actually
Yeah,
just pulled up while we were talking because I was curious for myself, for Wukong, how many trophies I actually have and how many I still have to go. And I actually have more than I thought I did. I'm sitting at 25 out of 36,
yeah. So I'm pulling up mine as well.
which I'm pretty surprised. I just pulled up the ones that I don't have yet, just so I could like do a weird like compare thing and like, I mean, these are pretty great.
Yeah, I'm sitting
Um,
at 25 out of 36 as well. Yep.
Yeah. Walking vault of arms. See, a walking vault of arms you've become. Staff of spears. So I'm assuming that one's probably just get a bunch of stuff. But yeah, there's a couple in here that like I'm like, oh, I just like I could probably do another run and get a lot of these.
It's recommended. It's recommended for at least another playthrough. It says like to get Wukong, you need to go at least through New Game Plus, or else you can end up hitting 3 New Game Pluses by the time you get the platinum. But you need to at least go through it one more time. Like there is right off the
Well, I
rip,
mean,
I'm supposed to get
technically,
2 trophies the moment I start it.
yeah. Well, technically, I only have. Well, actually, technically, I only have to get 10 trophies to get platinum, and that'll be my that'll be the 36th. Will
Yep,
be
same
the
here.
platinum.
And I guarantee it's the exact same ones. Um, the only like there's supposed to be 2 of them. I'm supposed to hit literally 27. The moment I click New Game Plus, it's gonna pop like that, like right off the rip,
Yeah.
because I got all the Yaguais, I got all the Lesser Chiefs, I got all the portraits to the meditation spots. I got every one of those, and that says the only character that I'm missing is when it hits New Game Plus. So I should be getting a silver and a gold right off the rip.
Mm, dude,
Yeah.
nice.
Mm.
Yeah, dude, that's awesome. I am always every time we talk about like trophy hunting and stuff, I'm always impressed. Like you have such a plan. You have like that dedication. It is I think it is definitely a feat to be able to say like that you are able to sit down and really spend that time focusing on these specific bosses and then just also be able to like appreciate a game to a point where you can just like, hey, I beat it. Now I'm going for the next one. I'm getting these trophies. I'm getting like you are truly getting 100% of the spent money on this game. You know,
Yeah.
like we buy these games and we spend them. We're like, man, they're expensive. But I'm like, at the same time, like, yeah, well, you've only played that small aspect. You haven't completed the game until you have like platinumed this game, and that I think you've gotten your money's worth. If you can honestly say, hey, platinuming this game was absolutely worth it. I think you've money well spent. I think you've done it.
Yeah, hence why, like, the moment I got Silent Hill 2, went, got every single platinum for it, there was absolutely nothing for me left. I hit the delete button. Cyberpunk, same thing. As much as I loved Cyberpunk,
Yeah.
the moment I completed it, DLC and the thing, like, usually I'm not a DLC hunter for
Right.
trophies. It, I just needed to do it because Cyberpunk was Cyberpunk. It was like, that was it. I deleted it. That's like again another 130 gigs gone. Like, but there was
Yeah.
nothing left. It like I exhausted everything. Some people keep games for years. I'm like, once to me to get your money's worth, you have to platinum it. Once I see that platinum trophy, that's A, my money's worth, and B, that's a lot of space I could now remove to bring something else in. Like that Elden Ring is still sitting there, but I did get the DLC for it, and I'm probably not going to stream it, but it's sitting there waiting to get platinumed. Plus, I also promised everybody a Melania fight, so there will be a Melania fight coming along. And plus, she is one of the trophies to get. I know that
Yeah.
she's one of the trophies. So when that time comes, not only is everybody going to get their like fulfilled promise of a Melania fight, they will also see me grab a trophy out of it. And then on top of that, it's like I don't care if I have to put another 180 hours into it, so be it. I put 300 hours into Cyberpunk, done, gone.
Yeah.
That's 300
Nice.
hours gone. I put
Hell yeah.
150 hours into Silent Hill 2, gone. Like that means I like literally back to back to back to back to back. Like that
Yeah.
space
You've done
gone.
it.
Yeah. So Wukong, like I've seen the platinums. I went back. I got every character. I got everything. Like I cannot now. I have no choice but to progress forward. The only
Yeah.
things I have left to collect every single armor. I have to get pieces in New Game Plus. I have to see enemies in New Game Plus. There's
Yeah.
apparently 3 missable trophies I have to go hunt down now.
Well,
Like
and
so, I'm not
and
going to
there's
move on
armor
to New Game
sets.
Plus if I could go back and find them.
Yeah, and there's armor sets that you can't even get unless you do like New Game Plus. Like you can't complete the was it the Iron Bull because
Yep,
you can only get like I mean I know you're supposed to get one. I got 2 armor pieces on my first play, and I
I
don't know
got 3.
how.
I got 3.
Yeah, see, I knew there was a way. I don't know how I did it, but I did it. And
It's the bull horns, but I have all 3 pieces. The only thing I'm missing is the mask.
damn.
And that can only be done on New Game Plus. That's 2, 4, 6 horns that are probably only per playthrough.
Yeah. Dude, it's shit. It's so
Yeah.
good. So I gotta say, as we come to a close to this, I'm personally very curious because I've been following your journey here, and each time I'm even more impressed. What is you? So you brought up your 2025 goals. What is your current goal right this minute? And when this one's done, what are you immediately jumping into?
So right now, my current goal is to get at least 5 to 10 platinums for the entire year. To also platinum the Souls like. So you're looking at Wukong. Well, sorry, not Wukong. You're looking at Bloodborne, Elden Ring, and Lies of P. That's
Mm-hmm.
coming along. Um, Other than that, I want more platinuming like as well as spending time with my community and chat. So that's why
Yeah.
I'm putting more platinum trophy hunting streams. I just like I said, I'm working on one right now with the Village, Resident Evil 8.
Mm-hmm.
It's one trophy, but it's the mercenary mode, so that one's a pain in the ass. So it's a grind. So people are watching me like trying to get S levels now.
Yeah.
Um, then once that's done, either I'm gonna throw up another poll, like whether it be the Mass Effect series or another series to go. I'm not touching those souls, like I'm not touching that binder until mid year.
Mm-hmm.
There is a couple games on the go that will be coming out that will be scheduled. So you're gonna see probably Ghost of Your Tai coming out mid year.
Oh,
When that
I'm
comes
looking
out,
forward to that
that's
one. That
that
one,
one's gonna
I'm
get ready to go for a platinum run.
Ghost of Tsushima was so fucking good, dude.
Yeah,
I'm
I
so
have that
pumped
one
for this
platinum,
one.
so I have to do Ghost of Your Tai now. Then once that goes, there will be some other games on the go. Like I said, October is already booked with the Alan Wake series, 1 and 2. I
Yeah.
might I might start the Alan Wake series actually maybe mid September going into October. Just trying to finish both games. Maybe if there's time, see how much of the platinum grind there is. If it's that difficult, based on it, those probably would be included within the year of platinuming.
Hell yeah.
If I don't hit that now, then what I'll do is I'll kind of like brush it off to the side into the new year and just coast, and we'll see from there.
Hell yeah, dude. I mean, these are some. I mean, I guess to you these are really good, like obtainable goals. But to someone who doesn't platinum like trophy hunt, uh, these are huge. These are awesome. This is
Well,
this is good stuff.
like I said too, like I'm also in your streams, so I will help you get that Silent Hill 2 one. We will platinum Stardew Valley. I know that one. That's even on my list, even
Dude.
though like I'm sitting there. I'm sorry. Like I even have games that I'm just gonna platinum just for the hell of it. Even if
Yeah.
I don't mention it, they're not like Stardew Valley is not one I will stream. It's just
Oh yeah.
my own game, but it still will get platinumed on the side regardless.
Hell yeah.
Um, yeah,
I don't even think I've even started
even
looking
some
at the
of your
trophies
community
yet.
members. What's that?
I said I don't even think I've even looked at what the trophies are for Stardew
Oh
because
no,
it
no,
was
no.
like
Yeah,
it's one of those ones where I just it literally was the game that I just was testing out my very first stream on, and I just wanted to make sure that all my like technology worked, and I was like I need to pick a game that I don't need to focus on, I'll be completely honest, I hated it in the beginning, and then when I was convinced to play it again, I was like all right, I'll give it another shot, and then it just clicked, and like once I understood the game and what you're supposed to do, like there is definitely so much more to that game than I think people realize. And it is now my goal is to just see if I can just fully break the economy for just an insane, like an absurd amount. And I did just realize since we've been playing on like some weekends, like Sundays ish kind of thing, we've like started this like community game now where
yeah.
myself and three others are trying to run this game, and I realized that each one of them can upgrade their own house, and it got me thinking that I think what I'm going to end up doing is to like, part of the breaking the economy of this game is that the guest house that I have on my personal game, I'm just going to log in as a second player, use that joined money and upgrade that cabin to max so I can get the cellar, because then I have access to two basements with the casts and stuff, which, if you have like the preserve jars in a shed, you'll get an X amount of money or whatever. And then if you have like the wines, you get an X amount of money. But if you take the wines and then you age them in the casks or whatever they're called in the basement, you can age them for like 56 days, and it'll go from like the basic level to like a iridium level, and then you can sell those for like a stupid amount. And I'm kind of thinking I just might keep those on like a cycle or something, and so like put like star fruit and ancient fruit in there, and then just spend 1 year letting them brew so I can just sell them all in one shot for like a couple million, and then
Huh.
just use that to supply the rest of my year.
See, now here's the funny thing. Like, I just picked up the game because it's like I just wanted something cozy on the side. Like, you're going off
Yeah.
about breaking this economy and whatever. Again, that's just like being my trophies. Like, that's to me, you're
Yeah.
wanting to break the economy.
And that's my thing.
Mine
That's
is
that's
yeah.
that's what I like to do in the games. Like you smash the trophies. It is so out of my reach. But it's fun to talk to you about it because I like to hear someone who's super into doing that.
Well,
Whereas
I almost hit the 10
I
million
really
mark.
love to I just love breaking game economies. I just
Yeah.
love being the richest freaking person in that entire realm.
Well, you be the richest person. I almost hit the 10 million mark that I've earned 10 million, and I've barely even seen like 150,000. Like,
Yeah.
I already almost I hit the 1 million mark. I'm already saying at like
Yeah.
2 or 3 million. I'm like 10 million. And like, just keep doing what I'm doing eventually. But yeah, it's just very funny because it's like you look at me like I'm an RPG and a shooter, like, and that's another thing too. Like the shooter games when they're coming out, I went from Apex and Gears of War and like Battlefield and stuff, and now I'm just doing
Right.
Fortnite, and then here I am, Stardew Valley. It's like, no, that's just a cozy game just to take a mental re-stress, like a mental break.
Oh,
Like
for
I said,
sure.
going 4 months of straight boss battle grind, boss battle
Right.
grind, boss battle grind, and it's like how many hours? Like I said, I'm surprised my chat hasn't gotten sick of me. Like I actually have people liking me rage in my
Yeah.
community
Oh,
that
I'm
they
sure.
see me stuck on a boss. Like I said, I could sit in this one chair. I'm like, how the hell are you guys in the back of my mind still there watching me going at this same boss over
Yeah.
5 hours? And then but it's true. It's like you just have them like probably sitting there with me in the background, but I will not leave. That boss, I have to literally go. I am the definition, and I tell everybody this. I am the definition of insanity. I
Yeah.
am the definition.
Repetition.
I will do everything 1,000 times expecting the same outcome, no matter what. And like I said, I've said it before and I'll say it again. If you have never seen anything before, come to my stream. Like
Yeah.
I have, and this is where I was going before, like that Erlang fight. There was someone in my community in my chat. He's like, I have never seen the boss do this. I have never seen the boss. He's found 7 times the boss did something that he has never seen before. And I'm like, this is what I deal with all the time. I have one guy saying, "Oh, I beat him in like 5 hours." I'm like, "That's nice. What level were you?" "Oh, wow, wow,
Right.
wow." I'm like, "There you go. You can't say shit because A, you're higher level. B, you have a shit ton of probably better armor. C, you guided me to this boss under leveled. So here
Mm-hmm.
I am doing everything. Oh, it sounds like bitching. Well, you know what? Get on my chat. Because you know what? That's negativity that I don't need. And
Yeah.
two, you know what? If you call it bitching, call it
Yeah.
dedication because I'm sitting here over how many hours fighting the same exact
Yeah.
boss that you said, oh, I have to be 20 levels above the boss in order to beat. If you were a true person, why don't you go after and do exactly what I'm doing, underleveled by maybe 10 or 20 levels, and try fighting him then get a better sense of accomplishment? Well, okay, so let's get this straight. So Erlang, it took me almost 40 hours to beat. Just him by himself. And the Stone Monkey by himself all like almost took me 40
Yeah.
hours. Like that's like 80 hours almost right there of me like well, kind of exaggerated, but I'm not going to say it took 20 hours because it did take more than 20 hours. It took me almost, like I said, my streams are 5 hours on RPGs. It almost took me like 3.5 streams for each boss.
Yeah.
So, like,
Dude, I
but
mean, it's
again,
it's definitely it's definitely dedication. I
yeah.
full heartedly like, yeah, I definitely stand behind that. I think that, there's that's the thing, like, just kind of like a final thought here is that it doesn't, like, it everywhere you go, whether it be a job, politics, the world, fucking, I don't know,
Not
supermarket,
everybody's the
like,
same.
not, and you can't please everyone either. And I guarantee if you go in there and you're severely underleveled and then you kick that boss's ass and they go, well, you took too long on it, but then, let's reverse roles. You went in there, you were well prepared, you were over leveled, and you kick
Oh,
that
but it was
boss's
too
ass. They go,
easy.
oh, well, now it's too easy. Yeah,
Okay, so I know.
nobody's satisfied.
No, no one's satisfied. But you know what? For the final, and I know we're kind of like like edging the final and whatever. Um, that's the thing. And the person that came into my chat that said that they haven't even seen that the boss had done that seven
Yeah.
times in a row. They've never seen that. Every time I switched items, every
Mm-hmm.
time I switched an item, the boss got 2 times harder. The boss
Yeah.
literally scaled. And I said, is this a joke? Because it's scaling. I'm not, I'm like, there must have been a buff. There must have been a secret. They must
Yeah.
have done something. He looked it up and he said, since the game had come out last year,
Has it been a
it
year
has
already?
gotten a nerf because
Yeah.
people have been breaking the game by cheesing it. Then they secretly then the recent patches they buffed those bosses again. They buffed them. So here I am going up against bosses that have been buffed on my first playthrough that I don't
Right.
like, and I've tried some of these builds that people have used. I've tried even doing the cheese methods, and the bosses broke it. The bosses cheesed me. There was one boss
Yeah.
that fought me. He put me through literally a wall. He put me
Yeah.
through a wall. I'm like, the boss glitched me. There was, and I'm sure you know this fight in chapter 5, which was the fiery mountain area
Yep.
that you're supposed to be fighting. I think it was in your stream that you said it, that we are on the same rock beast monster or something like that. I don't remember what game you were playing at the same time, unless it was someone else. There was this one monster, and he would be attacking you with fire, and he was a tank. Like, it was like a tank on steroids. So he was a tank of a tank, fighting and burning me. As he's fighting me, he pushed
Oh,
me through an ice wall.
yeah,
He pushed me through an ice wall.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah, the one in the uh that beast.
Yeah.
Okay? Yeah.
There's
So he pushed me through an ice wall.
uh
I'm like, am I supposed to be here? What's going on? And this is after like attempt number maybe 500.
yeah.
He pushed me through the ice wall, and all of a sudden he comes back along the ceiling, and now he's hitting me with ice. Everybody's like, whoa, 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 whoa! Did you just break the game? Like, was it supposed to do that? I'm like, I don't know, and I whooped its ass. The very first time I got into that section, they're like, it took you over 500 attempts, and you kept dying. The moment he glitched you through a wall of ice, and he started shooting out ice, you whooped his ass on your first attempt. They went back to go look at it. Apparently, that wasn't a glitch. That was supposed to happen. You had the option of fighting him either on fire or ice,
Mm-hmm.
but it took the boss to push me through the wall to whoop its ass. I'm like, you know what? I'm taking it as a win. I don't
Yeah,
care.
dude.
I'm taking it as a win.
That's pretty great.
Yeah.
Dude, brother, this is honestly, I could sometimes I forget that we're like recording, so I genuinely just like having these like full conversations. I want to do this again. As
I'm always in
I
your
mean, we
stream.
say it all the time. We're always gonna do this. And next time we do this, we're gonna have a whole nother list of games. We'll probably have an update on what we've maybe by the next time we do this, I'll have finally fucking platinumed the damn game. But
You'll have to at
if
that point.
yeah. From for anyone listening who has not discovered you yet, where can we find you? What's your schedule like? And yeah, like what's going on?
Well, right now, schedule rise. It's all up in the air. Unfortunately, but I do try to stream at least 3 to 4 days a week, 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Twitch. I don't. I'm in the process of also wanting to build a YouTube channel. I've had a channel for
Nice.
9 years. I've had a channel for 9 years, but there's nothing on it. So
Okay.
pretty soon I might be, getting my ass in gear and throwing out some stuff there. So I'm not
Nice.
mentioning that as of right now. But you could just find me on Twitch under Black Scorpio, BLKScorpio, and yeah, just come in, shoot the shit straight up. If you're there for 2 minutes, I appreciate every single one of you guys. And like I said, I've had people from your community probably get sick of me. They come
Yep.
into your stream and be like,
Oh,
"Oh,
I
he's
thought you were gonna
he's
say.
he's raging on a boss right now, and like he's dying." And then they come in and talk Stardew Valley because they're like, "How is this guy still going at it?"
Yeah.
And then I come into your stream,
Yeah.
I'm like, "I'm alive."
I was gonna say I definitely have people like I'll start the stream up and people be like, oh yeah, hey, I'm here. I'm like, sweet, how's it going? Like, oh, I just came from Scorpio's stream. I'm like, hell yeah, dude, like that's what's up. Like, but then like
Yeah.
I mean, some of the people that jump in our communities and stuff, it cracks me up because I'm like, you are always on when I'm on, and then you're also on the guests that we have on the podcast like streams, and I'm like, do you are you ever not on like Twitch? Like,
Well, actually,
I'm
and
like,
and
I
that's
love it, but
and
like it gets
yeah,
me. It cracks me up.
actually that's also
I
a
love the
funny thing.
support.
That's also the funny thing. And sorry, the last comment is like
You're good.
I have not ever seen myself where I'm at now, being on more
Mm-hmm.
podcasts with people. Actually, whatever. I've always just thought myself like I hit my 2 year stream anniversary back in actually on the 18th. That's why
Hell
I did the
yeah.
Elden Lord. That's why I got the Elden Lord title on my stream anniversary.
Right.
That's why I did that. Sorry, that just came back to mind. I'm like, oh yeah, that's right. I got it on my stream anniversary,
Yeah.
so I know. So
Yeah.
it's been 2 years. Um, but yeah, I just never thought myself like I said, I'm welcoming everybody into communities, but now I'm getting more podcasters. Like I got you, I got Afro, I got Voices, I got like
Yeah.
I've been on a few, and I'm like, oh my god, people actually want to hear me now. Like
Of course,
I'm
man.
like I never thought of seeing myself like actually doing this. Now it makes me again think more that I want to get on my YouTube channel. I want to beat a game. I want to put in my review of it, and I want to like put in a small review of
Yeah, dude.
what's next to come. But again, I'm not overstepping everybody's because I'm a gamer. I'm not a podcaster. I'm a gamer. But I am willing to like jump in and be on
I
these
mean,
podcasts
yeah,
just for
dude.
the hell of it.
It makes sense because like you're doing the gaming thing, but you're doing it in a way that a lot of us wish that we could be doing it. And that's that you really do take on when you say you're gonna platinum a game. It's not like when someone's like, "Oh yeah, I'm gonna beat it when I get to it." Like when you say you're gonna platinum something, you actually do platinum it, and it is very fun to watch somebody who is like when you jump into my stream. I'm gonna just be genuine. I'm gonna try to be as like real as possible, and I'm just gonna play a game. But
Yeah,
like I'm not shooting for platinums. I'm not trying to break world records. I'm not a speed runner. Like
neither am I.
I'm just here for the vibes, man. But
Yeah,
then there's games where like the same reason I really enjoy these conversations because like I don't platinum hunt and I've always seen it's the achievements are everywhere and I know people do it, but the people who do it are not produce or like they're not putting shit out there. So when you see the stats where it's like, oh, 3% of people have completed this, and you're like, 3% of what though? Like we don't have a number, we don't have a reference, we don't have somebody saying I did it and it fucking sucked every minute of it. But now we do. And that's what it's so drawing to your content and to have you on the show. It's because we now have that person that can be like, yeah, dude, this was hard as shit, or this is way easier than you think, and you can accomplish it, without worry, and stuff. It's
yeah. If
it's
it's the same
nice.
game that you're, if it's the same game that we're both let's say going at like Silent Hill, I know you
Yeah,
could do it. I'll be there every step to push you. I'll be there, whatever. This is gonna sound a little bit, but you right now are my calm, like meaning like that's the funny thing. Like your
yeah,
stream when you didn't stream for a whole week, I was like, okay, I want him to stream because like
yeah,
Stardew. Like there's other people in the community. Like I wish they kind of streamed a little bit more. But
Yeah.
like your schedule, like when you were gone for a whole week, I'm like, I'm missing his streams because that's my calm. Like
Yeah.
I'm going through rage inducing hell, and I need like I do need my friends
Yeah.
to as a calming aspect after. Like remember, as you're streaming, I'm sitting on that other end of that stream for already probably 4 hours in, maybe five
Yeah.
hours in, depending on. And I'm like, okay, he's streaming, thank God, because I could get off, put my mind to ease, and just relax. Like
Hell yeah.
I need that calm to have at least I know somebody that goes around the same time as me to kind of like branch off easily. And it's like that's my calming. It's like that's when you see me, I come into the stream, I'm like, I'm here, or like I'm alive, or it's like, hey, what's going on? And I'm
Yeah.
like, I'm dead.
Well, I gotta say, like that is something I've been a little proud about. I'm not gonna lie. It's been this like I didn't intentionally do it, but it's definitely become this thing where, like, I thought streaming was gonna be cool. There's gonna be a bunch of people like jumping in and being like, oh man, I love just watching you play the games and stuff. And that didn't quite happen, and I'm fine with it because what we did create was just a nice environment for people to just come and hang out while like playing your own games, or it's just we've created a hangout zone and less than and less of a like come watch me, support me, do what I do kind of stream.
Right, and that's originally not what I wanted to create either. I wanted to create like just a hangout, whatever. Apparently,
Yeah.
somehow I switched my community into get me raged induced to come and mock me as I play.
Yeah.
At the same time, they're the best people I could ever have in my streams.
Yeah.
Like I said, even the ones that come from your channel. Well, I'm also the one that comes to your channel as well. Like that they come in like shout out to a couple of them, but we know who we're talking about.
Yeah.
And
Silly
they
Frog
come in
and Saya and
yeah,
yeah, dude, they're
especially
the
those
shit,
two
man.
when they jump into my stream, and I'm like, Silly Frog, what are you doing here of
Yeah.
all? And then Saya, like Saya comes in, I'm like, I'm gonna give them a huge shout out, even in this cast as well. Like without those two, like when they come in, I know like I'm like, okay, he's probably gonna go live soon, or the fact that like I'm like, well, what are you guys doing here? They're like, oh, we're just bored and we want to just come say hey. And I'm like, you know what? Sit back, but you ain't gonna get nothing but not peace.
Yeah,
Like
they're
at some point
so
or other, like they're just watching me and they're just like,
yeah.
I don't know what they said to you, but I'm sure at some point they're gonna be like, yo, I think he's breaking. And that's
They're
why
the
when I come
most
to your stream, I'm
supportive.
like, I'm just chill.
Yeah, they're the best. They're the most supportive. They're amazing. I love them. It's fun too. So like sometimes like I'll jump on, like if I have some free time or whatever, I'll jump onto like somebody else's stream and just like say hey, like I got some free time now. I'm in the middle of doing this. Like I just wanted to chat for like a hot minute or whatever. And it's fun when like I jump in there and then I see people from like my community, and then I'm just like, holy shit, what are you doing here? Like
Right.
what's up?
And I said the same thing. Like, and I know we're wrapping it up on this cast.
Mm-hmm.
But what's funny is also you want to see you want to know where I'm at in the next 2 hours at 6 p.m. Eastern. I'm gonna be platinum grinding again. I'm gonna be on my third attempt at this platinum for Village, and I'm going all the way up until Saturday. So you're gonna see me on.
Hell
You're gonna be
yeah.
like, yeah. So I've already streamed
Nice.
yesterday. Like I actually lost count that the other week when I was doing Wukong, I streamed 6 days straight.
Damn, nice. Hell yeah.
I'm like, I have to take one day off.
Yeah, you gotta
And
take
then
a
that's when I
break.
started this RE Village plat grind. I'm like, I lost count. I'm like, you know what? I just blended right into the game. I'm like, I can't do it. I'm like, I need the one day. And then here we are now. I'm like, oh, it's almost time for me to go back on the grind. So,
brother, I love it. Dude, thank you so much for being here. It's always a treat. I genuinely like I love picking your brain on these things. I love hearing the strategies. This is you are the gamer of gamers. You have that mentality. You've got this, and it is so fun to just watch you get to these points and to see how you break these things down. And for those listening, seriously, like you want a good time, like go check Scorpio out. It truly is. It's you're going to see something you haven't seen before. You're going to enjoy yourself. You're going to have a good time.
You're gonna get the help that you've never known.
Yeah.
Like I'm not one of those streamers that sit back. I'm like, you come in, my eyes are already on the chat. I'm like, you come in, I'm speaking to you. Hey, you're playing Fortnite. I don't care. You're playing I don't care. I'm gonna die anyways. I don't care. I'm in it for you. You're in it for me. You want to see what's
Yeah,
going on?
dude.
There you go. If you say you want help with the trophy, like I said, that guy that hasn't seen it, I gave him a list of where to go. You want trophy help? I'll help you with your trophies. If you want to rage, come at me. You ain't no different than
Hell
any other
yeah.
boss. Just come at me.
That's what I'm
ready.
talking about.
Yeah.
Hey, thank you so much. I appreciate you. For those listening, do yourselves a favor. Check this wonderful dude out. You're gonna have a good time. We are streaming. If you want to come find us out, what do we stream? Saturdays, Sundays, and Monday mornings. Mondays are Fun Day Monday Cozy Game Day stream, where we stream for about 2 hours, but it's been going on for about like 3, maybe 4 hours or so. We're playing some Stardew. As of this recording, we are starting Assassin's Creed Shadows for the opening weekend of this game, and then probably by the time this episode comes out, we'll be streaming tonight as well. So do yourselves a favor, go outside, look up at the sky, feel the sun on your face, hug a tree, high five a squirrel, and we'll see you on the next one.